Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on YouTube channel James 13 Wicca. I just want to make sure that's where you're seeing it. If you're not, I'm on YouTube, James 13 Wicca. I'm going to put the decks and dice and stuff like that below. If you want a personal reading in person, I am in Herkimer, New York, or close to it, I should say, doing personal readings in Herkimer, New York. There's a store called Renewed and Rescued if you want to check it out. The hours they're open or the hours I can do that, just shoot me an email and I'll let you know if there's time available. Also, if you want a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. With all that said, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Libra? Hiccup, apparently. That's it. Okay. Be mindful of other people's stress. In what way? I feel like it's more like other people being stressed and causing you stress by association. Sometimes people struggle, right? It doesn't mean you enjoy that, but it also doesn't mean that you have to suffer along with them. Especially when they could be doing things that you're unaware of that is really causing them extra stress that you have no connection to. What is it that we're dealing with is a great question, because I see the 5 of Swords and the unexpected. Something should be going better than it is. And it's like something doesn't make sense on paper. Like, this should be going better than it is. 4 of Swords, but it's like not fully actuated. It's like 4 of Swords coming in like this, which means it could be better, it could be worse. It's there, but it's not really going the way it's supposed to be. And the Lover's card is like, I'm trying to help somebody, and I feel like I'm connected with something, and I like what I'm connected to, but I feel like I'm looking at it like, this isn't working out right. This isn't moving forward, and I'm not understanding why this isn't working. It's kind of like talking to somebody, working a problem out, telling them how they should do it, and then they're doing that, but for some reason it's still not working out. And it's like, we've gotten some progress, but not as much as I was expecting. And I'm like, why isn't this working? So another analogy I'm getting with this is kind of like, if you have people you're working with, say it's a business situation, just for argument's sake, and you're like, these two people aren't getting along. So you're working with people and you're helping them find different ways to work with each other or not work with each other, and it should smooth it out. But even though they're doing what you're asking and they're trying to be better with each other and they're staying out of each other's way, you're finding out they're still having conflict with each other. And there's other people around this situation that seem to be adding into it. And you're like, they're doing what I'm asking them to. Why are there other problems here? What is going on? Why does this keep flourishing? Why isn't this calming down? Okay, this is interesting. I feel like I have to take a back burner to the situation for a minute. You don't have to do anything, I know. I feel like you might be anyway. I don't know. For some of you, this might be an idea. For others of you, I feel like you probably just did it. I'm going to kind of pull back and just try to get an idea of like, what's really going on here? How is this social environment actually working? And I feel like when I got the 7 of Swords with the 10 of Cups, overall, I feel like the situation isn't the worst, but something isn't right. And I know something isn't right. So I feel like I got to fade back and just let it be what it's going to be. Let it flourish the way it's going to flourish so I can find out what's actually going on here, because something doesn't make sense. And I get like, things will be fine. I feel like it does make you nervous, but I feel like that's why I had the hiccups, because it makes you nervous to do this. Kind of like, it's kind of like, it's like, is this going to be, what is it called? I don't know that it's that movie about the kids that were on the desert island and just had to govern themselves. Lord of the Flies. I think it was Lord of the Flies. I'm like, is this going to be a Lord of the Flies situation? I don't know if I like that. Um, I feel like it's not going to get bad, but the truth will come out. And I feel like this is something I feel like I need to do because this is how I can create the Ace of Swords. Like, I need that information. I need it to come forward because I can create opportunity with that. And maybe I can restructure this situation. I can get that opportunity. And I really want this because something has to change. I want to change stuff. I'm in the position to change how I handle this, but I need better information, and I need that information to come in. And information does happen. I don't really feel anything bad, but I feel like when I'm seeing this over here, Ace and Knight of Fire, a lot's gonna, I feel like people can't help themselves, whatever that means, and they're gonna show their true colors. It may be the two people, for example, if there's two people you were working with, it may not even be that they're the problem. It may be the other people are manipulating both of them. It could literally be something like that. And it'd be like, oh, wow, these two people, maybe they have personality differences and, you know, they don't really mesh. They don't really link up like that. But there's other people exasperating the situation and making it an issue and really pushing it forward. And it's kind of like, you know, for example, like if you have a couple people, one person's very random, one person is very strictly structured. If you have them both try to co-manage a project, that could be very, very unhappy. So it's kind of like, all right, their styles don't match. That person would just have them do that. This person will have them do this. You know, we'll have points in the week where they'll just touch base if they need to, and they'll just work their own ways. You know, there's the deadline for this. As long as they both get it done at the deadline, okay, there's a deadline for this. As long as they both get it done at the deadline, the random person can do it their way as long as it's done at that point. The structured person can do it their way as long as it's done at this point. We'll just have them converge at the needed points, not have to constantly be right next to each other working with every little aspect, because that's asking for trouble. They can get along if you give them separate, you know, give them some space. They can be fine with each other. But if you push them and force them to work together, this could be an issue. And I feel like that's what's maybe going on here. And I feel like I'm finding that out really fast because the truth is coming forward really fast with the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Fire, same thing. It's kind of like, here we go. This is what's actually going on. Stars, fire, wands. It's all the same thing. When it comes forward to the next level, I feel like I'm seeing why people have the stress. I'm seeing where the stress is coming from. And somebody is directing it. I feel like it's other people directing it and causing it to be a problem that it doesn't really need to be. So, I feel like I have the ability, and when I say I mean Libra. Libra has the ability to make some very peaceful, I don't know. It's almost like just gentle. I just kind of like, I know where this should go, I know where that should go, and I just keep gently, I just keep working the dough out. I just keep slowly working it out, and I slowly keep working it out, and it's kind of like, you know, so maybe there's like a part where there's too much flour or something, and like maybe there's a dough with, you have one of those breads that have raisins and nuts and stuff. Okay, this nut doesn't work, so we're going to slowly work that out. This one doesn't have enough cinnamon. We're going to kind of move that over there a little bit better. Just slowly, just very peacefully, slowly, gently move it where it needs to go. You have the ability to kind of like secure the situation is what I'm getting. Am I wrong? Let me just be sure. Knight of Fire, half in and half out, and then the High Priestess. So the Knight, half in, half out means that it's coming in like this, which there's just going to be random things here and there, and there's going to be other things that don't have to be. I do think you have the ability to set some things up and to put more structure in a situation that maybe doesn't always have it, or in places where it usually doesn't apply, if that makes sense. You don't have to accept that it's random. You don't have to accept that. Because I get the Wheel of Fortune here. It's kind of like, well, I guess some of this is just going to be random. They're telling me you don't have to accept that. But you might have to... All right. If you want this to go better and to kind of stay there, you're more than likely need to kind of police it a little bit. I don't think that has to be difficult. Especially if I move it forward in a very gentle way. I feel like the version of policing it would be kind of like making sure it stays there and just gently moving it back. Every time it starts to go out of focus, you just gently move it back. And it's just kind of like, is it going to be exhausting? What is that going to feel like for a Libra? I'm not a Libra, but it's like, it seems like a lot to me. That part's going to seem random in the sense of like, certain people just don't want to get along. So it's kind of like, it's, how do I put this? It's not like it has to be a problem, but some people, they just want to create a problem. You know, those people who are like, you know, if I'm not happy, nobody should be happy. Why should you be happy if I'm not happy? Those people, you know what I'm saying? Those moments will come forward from people like they're not having a good day, so they want to ruin somebody else's day too. That's where these problems are going to come in from. You will be surprised at how easy this gets. Because I feel like once you it's almost like you're starting a song in the sense that when you're starting the song, you're putting the backbeat into it, you're creating the rhythm to it, the sound that you want with it. Other people are going to like this, and they're going to do what they can to work with you to keep that song going. You know what I mean? Or that, you know what I mean? Keep it in that genre, keep it in that feeling. Other people are going to want to keep doing that. Over time, I do feel like I have to keep an eye on it. I just won't have to constantly be the one policing it. I feel like it might start governing itself, but you're still going to have to keep an eye on it, because every now and then it just won't work. It just won't work. So you're going to have to gently do it yourself. Other people just won't be able to do it all the time. I feel like other people will try to, and many times they will be good at it. Many times they will make that happen. But every now and then it's going to take a little bit extra from you to kind of help them get it where it needs to go. Whatever this situation is, you're not meant to be here forever either, by the way. Okay, I don't know why we're going there, but okay. You're going to be very successful with this, especially if it goes this way. But also, when it's time for you to go on to your next situation, whatever this is, I feel like you're not meant to be here forever, whatever it is. When it's meant for you to go on to the next level of whatever you need, allow yourself to do that. Don't feel bad or worried about whatever this situation is. Sometimes situations, you know, you do good with it while you can. You did some good energy. You infected some people in a positive way. But, you know, like all of us, sooner or later we leave this planet. Just saying. It reminds me of, I keep thinking of teachers. They go into a job, they become a good teacher, they help people, but one day they will retire. And maybe they do a lot to keep the situation good and they have a very positive effect, but at some point they have to let go and be like, all right, I did what I could do, now it's somebody else has to do what they can do. I don't know why they're putting that in there in this part now, but maybe it makes sense to you. You do what you can while you can, and that's the best you can do. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say to that. I feel like part of this is like, yes, you do good. Yes, you're emotionally invested in this. I feel like they're trying to put that undertone to just remind you, just keep it in your brain somewhere. You know, one day I won't be able to. One day I won't be here to save the day. Maybe though, maybe the point of this is, okay, is as you're going through this, maybe there's certain people you want to teach to do it the way you do it. So that way when you do move on from this situation, it's easier for you. Is that it? I think that was it. It's like, that's kind of why they're like, one day you will move on. So if at this point, if you're developing it this way and you find people you trust, you could also teach other people to regulate it the way you've been regulating it. So that way, the day when you do move on, you don't feel like, uh-oh, now I'm going, it's all going to fall in. Instead of feeling that way, you could feel like, all right, I did what I could. I taught who I could teach. We'll see. They'll see what happens. I'm moving on. I don't know. I'm just going to move on, but they'll have to do what they can do. I did the best I could. All right. Anything else? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.